Rituals that come with funerals vary from community to community. Some are done privately without much ado, but others are huge public ceremonies. Traditionally, funerals and burial ceremonies are meant to accord a warm send-off to the departed and condole with the bereaved.
Kama kunaleta hapa maneno mabaya ndio vibaya, lakini mnakuja kukulilia, kupangusa machozi.
People would invest a lot or would spend a lot of a fortune in organizing for such funerals. And for you to amass a lot of resources for such a funeral, then it means you have to engage as many people as possible. And I think this is why we find in western parts of the country, now there are so many people attending funerals. And you know, where there's a large crowd, it is actually a stimulus for a politician to go there.
Picture this, it is midday and the funeral program has begun, and there is no politician in sight, not even at the homestead, but they would be trooping in much later in the middle of the program amid cheers or jeers, depending on who they are. This is an example from the recent funeral of Paramount Chief John Nabutola in Bungoma, an example of the reception accorded to politicians as they make their entry into funeral ceremonies. But some mourners have no problem with politicking at funerals, saying the politicians were their elected representatives and therefore represented their interests.
Kwa sababu sisi hawezi kupinga, mwenye kusungumusa kwa kula, mwenye atapita atakuwa mtu wetu. Mwenye ataanguka basi atafuata ule mwenye atapita.
Unajua kuna watu siku hizi wanapenda kwa matanga kutoa maneno mingi ya siasa. Na hiyo siasa mimi sipendelingi sana.
Kandui MP Alfred Kangati's voice being drowned by jeers at the Nabutola funeral. Before the funeral mass, politicians had been allowed by the family to speak because they were rushing to other functions. But the clergy stopped them on realization that they were taking over the events program. They were asked to patiently wait for their turn, just like other mourners, even as the skies threatened to open, this being the rainy season. But apparently no warning is stern enough to stop politicians from doing what they are good at. The sound bites you hear on TV from funerals are only a tip of the iceberg.
Na heavyweight hawezi kupikana na featherweight.
Na wakati Daudi kalisema kanataka kaonane na Goliath,
Paka wakaenda wakafanya mkutano.
Pia kwa swara anaweza kuwa mmoja.
This culture is extended to memorial ceremonies like what was witnessed at the Masinde Muliro Memorial last year in Trans Nzoia.
Waziri mkuu, mheshimiwa, tusije kuharibu mkutano. Waziri mkuu amejitokezea kuja pamoja nasi siku ya leo.
At a different memorial ceremony, the gathering witnessed this.
Nanda na nena. But you brought them.
Wasaidie tu familia ile mtu aliwacha. Na kusungumuza sana hata hakuna faida.
Go there with the message of providing closure and giving the bereaved families the fortune to bear the loss of their beloved ones, rather than politicking.
Mary would still stand up and walk and be strong.
Not all is negative though, as some do a lot to help the bereaved families without seeking attention or recognition. Some seek to tone down rhetoric and use the occasion to educate Kenyans on government policies and development issues.
Still, we could agree that we don't talk politics at funerals. I think this is something that as leaders we can actually stop and say, let us have rallies. Like I know of presidential candidates who have never held a single rally. At every funeral, they go there to declare their candidate.
Politicians and funerals. campaigns at funerals. Alex Chamwada for Citizen Live at 9.